Build creative confidence. Beat the inspiration addiction. Join the Writer's Gym.
The conversation I was having in my head this morning is, what's the difference between a landing pattern and procrastination? As a writer, procrastination is a skill I definitely have. My bookshelves are a lot neater when I am nervous about a project, about my ability to give it everything that I want it to have. And my job is not to answer that question. I could turn on the critic and give you a terribly exciting and interesting and intellectualized answer to where your landing pattern, the things you do in order to get to the writing in your head and at your desk, happen, and where is procrastination. But like most of those questions, a definitive answer is a lot less use than an open question that allows you to progress. So here is what I do when I might be procrastinating, or it might just be an extended landing pattern getting me close to my desk. First, I am never far away from a notepad, whether it's my phone notepad or a real physical one or a voice note or whatever you use. Not thinking the thought will be there when you can be bothered to write it down is a big, big deal. So that's one thing I do. And maybe I'm putting music on, and maybe I'm tidying a drawer, and maybe I'm packing a vintage parcel, or whatever I am doing. But I notice that writing is part of what's going on in my head as I do it. So that's something I do. I write things down as I go, and I bring them back with me when I am ready to sit down and be in the zone. I've also been finding that stealth writing, when I don't count as writing, like on a train in my phone notebook, text messages to myself, has formed a big part of the project that I'm really excited about, but as a result, slightly overconscious of and nervous of. And when I am between train stops, or when I definitely don't have time and I just put a few words down, they are the right words. They are not because they're beautiful words, but because they're pointing in the direction I want the ideas to go. And it's building and building. So I guess what I'm doing in a way is giving myself time in lieu. When I'm on a train, when I'm walking, when I'm doing housework, whatever is going on, the words are building up, the ideas are coming together. And rather than it not counting, I'm writing them down so that when I get to the desk, there is no blank page syndrome, because the page is not blank. These thoughts are already with me. I put them down in order and I think on the page. I see what's there and I put more things down so I can see them, and I put more things down so I can see them. And I don't put any pressure on them to be beautiful or perfect or any of those things. I just have what is in my head on the page. The idea of what Hemingway said, write the truest sentence you know, that can be about aliens and talking frogs, and it'll still be the truest sentence you know, because it's the truth. It is you saying the thing, getting it on the page and developing it further. But let's talk about landing patterns, because aren't they gorgeous? One of the first things I do when I come into this room to do my writing in the mornings is I notice what music I need. And it's a very first world problem need, but that's one of the things I need. And sometimes it's an Angelo Badalamenti day, and sometimes it's a Penguin Cafe Orchestra day, and sometimes it's an acoustic Jethro Tull day. It has to be acoustic. If the words are there, I start tuning into the words. For me, it's got to be word free. The words are all mine. And the music happens. And as you're all deeply aware, the coffee happens. And these things happen, and I get closer and closer. And I make sure the writing happens before the emails. And makeup is part of it as well, actually. I like to start the day with a blank page on myself. I like to wear clothes that make me feel like me that day, and I like to wear makeup that makes me feel like me that day. And again, I could do the critical thing. I could do the what does this say about me, or if I were a real writer I wouldn't care. If it makes me feel good and if it makes me feel present, hineni, I am here, then do it. Find the things that work for you, that bring you into the space. That is one of the best things to do. I'll tell you another one in my holding pattern is the right pen. After I finished my MA, one of the first commercial writing courses that I went on, the best thing that teacher said to me and to all of us was, if you find a pen that works for you, stick with it. And it seemed like the smallest thing, but I wasn't doing it. I was using biros, I was using cheaper, more sensible options. And then I found what I like, and I've been with it ever since, and it really, really helps. So the right pen for me, not the right or wrong objectively, the what is right for me. Another thing is journaling. I talk to myself on that page. Before I start thinking on the page with my creative stuff, I begin usually with my journal. And that journal might be thoughts about what I'm going to write. It might be a to-do list. It might be a here's what's worried me or annoyed me or what's on my mind, because there's no wrong way to journal. This is what people forget. People who don't like journaling tend to think that there is a right way to do it. And you can do anything. You can just write down anything. It can be a to-do list and a here's what annoyed me, or it might be something deep and meaningful. It can be literally anything. Those are all part of my holding pattern as I start moving towards my desk before the flight begins. I also meditate. Found in the last year since I began TM, that has helped a big deal. And a lot of that is to do with David Lynch, Catching the Big Fish. So you can get the Art Life talk on YouTube, Instagram, things like that now. And I heartily recommend that you do that. Feel free to stop listening to me and go and listen to him if you want to. And then come back. Here it comes. Ideas are like fish. If you want to catch little fish, you can stay in the shallow water. But if you want to catch the big fish, you go deeper. Down deep, the fish are more powerful and more pure. They're huge and abstract, and they're very beautiful. I look for a certain kind of fish that is important to me, one that can translate to cinema. But there are all kinds of fish swimming down there. There are fish for business, fish for sports. There are fish for everything. Everything, anything that is a thing, comes up from the deepest level. There's a lot more. But those fish are different for all of us. And for every choice you make that gets you to move into a bit more stillness, a bit more time on your terms, a bit more deeper than the I don't have time into time is all I have and what am I going to do with it? Because time is limited. So it's a very important skill to get. What is my holding pattern? What is helping me get into that zone? It's yours. You own it. You have every right to it. And if you're worried it's procrastination, not your holding pattern, it's okay too. Keep the notebook with you. By acknowledging it might be procrastination, we're acknowledging I want to write, and that's going to bring you a little bit closer to the desk as well. A lot of people say, well, I wrote, but I didn't write enough, or I didn't write as much as I thought. That's still writing. There's probably never going to be something that feels like enough, but it's okay not to reach it. Just keep moving it forward. You can do it, and only you can do the writing that you can do. Only you ever. But I hope the enjoyment to know you have every right to it and you can totally do this.
You've visited the Writer's Gym with author and coach Dr. Rachel Knightley. Production and sound design are by Ashley Lexine and theme music is by Chris Gregory. To join a Writer's Gym workout online or in London as a guest or as a member, visit writersgym.com or email thewritersgym@rachelknightley.com.